Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my March TBR, or the books that I really want to get to in March. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. So once again, I am in the middle of way too many series. I feel like I made a really good dent last month in the number of series that I have ongoing, but I still have quite a few that I need to get to. So we'll start with the books that are part of that group, like the series I have ongoing, and then we'll get into the standalones that I really want to read. So the first two books are Reckless Miles and Hidden Miles by Claire Kingsley. I feel like I've had both of these on my TBR for every single month so far, but I really I read, I think it was actually, it wasn't last month, I think it was in January that I read Forbidden Miles, the second book in the series, and I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I do really like the writing style, and I'm really excited about the third one, which is following Cooper. So I'm excited to get to this one, as well as Hidden Miles. Hidden Miles, I feel like I haven't heard anything about the male main character or that much. He's very mysterious in these other books. So I'm excited to get to his book and learn more about him and his storyline. Next, I want to catch up on the Eden series. So I still have to read Garnet Flats and Jasper Vale. Jasper Vale came out in January, so I'm not that far behind anymore. But I love Devney Perry's writing. Everything that I've read by her, I have just like eaten up. I have loved it. So I really want to finish this series because the second book in the series was so good, and I'm excited to see if the third or fourth one can live up to it, because it is definitely by far my favorite of the two that I have read. But I'm sure I'm still gonna love them, even if I don't like it as much as the second one. I'm still gonna love them. So I'm really excited to read those ones this month, and I hope I can get to them because I am in my small town romance era and I am living for it. The next book is Down London Road by Samantha Young. This is the second book in the On Dublin Street series. I read the first one, I think, honestly, like in 2021 now. It's been quite a while. So I do want to do a reread of the first one probably before I do it, even though I know these are all standalones. But I really liked it. Like, it was one of my favorite romances that I read in 2021, and it's what really kickstarted my love for the genre, which continued into 2022. So I really want to go through this series. I know myself though, and they aren't just like pulling my attention as much. So I wanted to put the second one on there on my TBR, just to like remind me of this, to read this series. But I don't know, but I'm not going to put more than that on there because I probably won't get to it. The next book is My Sinful Love by Lauren Blakely. This is the fourth book in the Sinful Men series, and these books are all available free on Audible, which is nice. I've been really most of my reading lately has been coming from audiobooks. Just realistically, it's what I can fit into my life the most. I can listen to them while I'm walking Kevin, while I'm cleaning and all of that. So I'm definitely I've really been on an audiobook kick lately, and I also have been listening to them quite fast, so I wanted to include quite a few audiobooks on this list. I really like Lauren Blakely's writing. I feel like she's one of those authors that you don't hear about that often, but all of her writing is really good. I actually really like her audiobooks in general as well, because I find them they usually have really good narrators on them. Like, I think Zachary Webb is one of them for this one, but don't quote me on that because I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I really liked the first three books in the series. I just got distracted from this series and I want to get back to it and read the rest. I think I still have the fourth and fifth one, but I'm only going to put the fourth one on there for now, just setting realistic standards for myself. And then last but certainly not least in my ongoing series section of this video is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. These books are my childhood. Like I really, really want to go back and reread all of Cassandra Clare's books because they're just so nostalgic for me. And I just love the Shadow Hunter realm and world that she's built. I just love it. And I'm really sad to be at the end of this trilogy. I thought this was actually the last trilogy she was planning on writing in the Shadowhunters series, but I have heard that she's planning on doing one more trilogy. So I'm not as sad to get to it anymore because I was thinking that this was going to complete the world of the Shadowhunters and I was going to be really sad about that. But I don't think it is. Correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong about that, but so I'm really excited to read. Okay, moving on to the standalone books that I want to read. The first book is the Grace Kelly Dress by Brenda Janowitz. This is one of those books that I have bought on my Kindle, or I bought on my Kobo when I first got my Kobo, and I was buying like every book that had a sale that sounded remotely interesting to me. So I really don't remember at all what this book is about. I know it's a historical romance / historical fiction. Not sure if there's romance in it. I think there is. But I really want to get through my Kobo backlist because I have a lot of really good books on there, but I just haven't been gravitating towards picking up my Kobo that much unless it's a library book because I just have been really into Kindle Unlimited romances, but I really want to focus on that. So that is one of the books on my Kobo that I have had for so long that I really want to get to. The next book is Hockey with Benefits by Tijan. This is a new release that is coming out in March and I'm so excited about it. I loved the Insider trilogies that Tijan released last year, so I really want to read another book by them. And this one sounds really good. It's a hockey sports romance. I talked about it in my March releases video, so make sure you go check out that if you want like the synopsis and everything, or you can just look it up on Goodreads. But I'm really excited about this book, so I'm adding it to my TBR. The next book is Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. This one is a new release from January that I was really excited about, but for some reason have still not picked up. And now I've heard a lot of good things about it from other booktubers and bookstagrammers and stuff like that. So I really want to get to it. I loved Kate Claiborne's writing. And the synopsis for this one sounds right up my alley, so I'm excited for this. The next book is A Place Without You by Julie Ann. I'm actually currently reading Before Us by Julie Ann right now, and I'm loving it. I also read another book by her years ago that I absolutely loved. All of her books are super angsty, so if I'm in the mood to like just cry or just have to like read a really emotional book, I know her books will take me there. So I have heard really good things specifically about this book, A Place Without You, so I'm excited to pick this one. The next book is The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigma Broca. And this one I've been told is very similar vibes to Beach Read, which is one of my all-time absolute favorite books ever. So as soon as I heard that, I knew I had to buy it because I knew I would probably love it. And for some reason, I still haven't picked it up. I think this book is on my like 23 books that I want to read in 2023. So hopefully I can get to it this month and cross one of those books out. I have not done a good job at reading those books at all, but hopefully I can get to this one this month. And it'll be nice when the winter, with all the snow and winter that we've been getting lately, to read sort of like a more summery, beachy book to like take me out of the winter mindset a little. Next book is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I have heard such good things about this book. People say the male main character in this book is like top tier book boyfriend. So I really have been wanting to read this book for a while, but it's really stinking long. And I've had it on my Kindle library for so long, and I really just need some space on there. So I want to focus. I want to read this one. I potentially will get the audiobook for this as well too, so that I can both listen to it and read it so that it goes by a little quicker, because I think it's like 800 pages, this book. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like this book is so long. But yeah, anyways, I am excited about this one. It sounds really interesting. So next book I have is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is like a super acclaimed book. I've heard amazing things, and I've been really into historical fiction sort of right now, so I figured this is a good time to potentially pick it up. Otherwise, I don't think I will ever get to it. But while I'm into historical fiction right now, I'll be interested in picking this up. Now is the time. I'm sure that this book is absolutely beautiful and the writing is beautiful. I just don't know if I'll be in the mood for it. But I added it in case I did because I really do. I've heard really good things about it and I want to read it. The next book is 2 Weeks Notice by Whitney G. I have been really wanting to, if you watched my indie author reading vlog from last month, you'll know that it's one of my goals for this year is to read more indie author romance books. And I've heard really good things about Whitney G's writing, but I haven't read anything by her yet. So I picked up I put on here her most popular standalone book. I know she's known for her, I think it's the Reasonable Doubt series by her that's really popular, but I can't add any more books to my ongoing series, so this one seemed like this one had good ratings and was fairly popular, so I added this one. I don't know anything about it. I think it's an office romance, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I just added it on here because I want to specifically read something by Whitney G, and I just picked her most popular standalone, so that's why that's on there. The next book is A Good Neighborhood by Therese Ann Fowler. I believe this is a thriller mystery book. This is another one of those books that I picked up on my Kobo a long time ago because it's on sale at one point, but I have been really wanting to read more thrillers. I read one last month, but it was super predictable, so I'm hoping that this one will be a little less predictable, or maybe that's just like the reason why I stopped reading thrillers in general is because I found them fairly predictable. So if you have any recommendations, leave them down below, but I'm excited to try this one out because I do want to get back into that genre a bit more. The next book is Love and Other Flight Delays by Denise Williams. This is the compilation of the 3 airport novellas that she put out last year into a book. I just put this on here because I did buy the individual novellas on my Kobo last year, so I'll probably read the individual novellas like that, but I know that the compilation is coming out this month, so if you'd rather read a physical copy of all 3 of them, that's coming out this month. But I'm hoping to read the novellas because it's been, I think, almost a year since they first were coming out, so I'm hoping to get to it this month. because I love Denise Williams' writing, and a quick novella is always a good, like, if you're in like a bit of after reading like a fantasy, so I'll probably pick them up after I read A Chain of Thorns. The next book I have on my TBR is With Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I've heard really good things about Elizabeth Acevedo's books in general, but I don't think I've read anything. I'm trying to think of what her other really popular book is, but I can't think of it right now. But I've heard really good things, and I don't know why I haven't picked them up. Actually, I kind of do know why. I think they're both YA, and I just haven't. But I've been reading a few YA books lately that have been really good. It's part of my ongoing. This will be part of like my books that are sort of outside of my typical genres. If you've watched my previous TBR videos, you know that I'm trying to read more books out of those typical genres, so that's part of this, but I've also heard just really good things about her writing in general, so I'm excited to read this one. Next I have Talk Bookish to Me by Kate Bromley. This is about a bookstagrammer, and I've always thought it was like just sounds super cute. This is again another one of them that are part of my 23 books to read in 2023, and it's also fairly short, so I feel like I could read it pretty quickly. Plus, there's a really cute dog on the cover, and that just, And I love a good book where there's a dog in it. I love a book where there's a dog that gets into hijinks in it. I just love that. And last but not least is The Spy Librarian by Madeline Martin. This is my book club book for my local book club, and this is the first time we're reading anything that's historical fiction, but it's perfect because I've been really into that genre lately, so I'm excited. This one, I think it is sort of based on true events, obviously World War II, but also it's based on the librarians within World War II. I don't really know too much about this book, but it sounds interesting from what I know about it. So. Okay, and that's all the books that are on my March TBR. The books that I'm hoping to get to, the books I put on here that I realistically probably know that I won't get to. I did not stick to the TBR that Stephen made me last year, I did not stick to the TBR that Stephen made me last month, so hopefully I do better this time. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave in a comment down below what your most anticipated book is to read this month. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.